Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me using all the products I pulled in my makeup basket. So I have everything sitting here, so I'm going to test everything out for you guys and with you guys. So I'm going to take off my watch because the first thing I'm going to do is swatch the palette, which is the Black Moon Cosmetics. It's the Orb of Light Full Moon palette. So I really have been enjoying this palette. It's an all matte palette, so there's not a whole lot of like shimmers or anything. If you're looking for something, well, there's not a whole lot, there's none. So basically this is a matte palette. So if you like matte palettes, then I think you're going to love this. The color pigmentation to this is spectacular. So what I'm going to do is swatch everything with a finger swatch, and then I'm going to go back and do a brush swatch so you can kind of tell like how good the pigmentation is. Plus you're going to see it as I'm using it on my eyes. I think that just gives you a little bit of more information. So here's what the colors look like in this palette. I think this palette is perfect for the fall. It's not going to match my shirt that I'm wearing today, but that's okay. So we're going to start over here in the corner. This is the black shade, and this is called Black. So there's nothing different or anything about it. It's not the best black shadow that I've ever seen, but it does a good job. So it's a little bit splotchy, as you can tell, but when I blend it out, it blends out really well. It's not one of those that sometimes you get a black shadow and for some reason it just doesn't want to budge. So it does a fantastic job, in my opinion, for blending. The next one is Wolf. This is this dark brown shade. So there's Wolf. I'm wiping my finger off in between onto a makeup cloth, so just in case you were curious. This one here's got a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. That's typical for a matte shade. So all you have to do is just blow that off and you're fine, but that's mostly also because it's a finger swatch. So when you're putting it on your eyes, you're not going to be going in quite as heavy as you do when you go in with a finger swatch. So that'll make a big difference as well. Now we're going to go into the shade right here, which is Blood. I don't really like this name, but that's okay. So there's Blood on my finger. This one here's already stained, as you can tell. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that one's definitely stained already. So there's Blood. Blood is beautiful. That's like my favorite shade in the palette, to be honest with you, just because I think it's going to be perfect for fall, wearing with like sweaters, and I don't know, I can just picture this palette working really well for the fall. Then we have the shade right here, which is Harvest. I think it is a fall palette, honestly, because if you listen to the colors in here, it sounds like a fall palette, even though I think they came out with this in the summer, maybe. I'm not even sure when they came out with it originally. That was two swipes over, just because it was chunking off a little bit. So you saw two swipes, right there it is. Let me take off this bracelet as well, so that'll help me to be able to do it more evenly. Then we have this one right here, which is Worm. I don't like the name of that either. It's weird. I used to catch worms with my brother, and then he had like a little worm farm. I liked fishing though, so I like doing it. I won't do it twice again. I almost made a mistake and did it twice. But there's the yellow one. As you can tell, all of them, like I said, I have a lot of fallout. That's because though, like I said, they're matte shades, and I'm doing it with finger swatches, so you're going to have that issue. Then we have this one over here, which is Cold. So let's go in with my ring finger and swatch that one. So there's Cold. I did twice there, as you can see. That one is really pretty as well. It's like more of a neutral shade. It doesn't have too much warm, doesn't have too much cool. It's a very neutral shade. Then we have this one down here, which is Strawberry. That one definitely does not sound like fall though. So I'm not exactly sure what this palette is supposed to represent. So there's that one. It's a very light peach shade. Again, there's a lot of chunks to it, as you can see. Maybe, I'm not sure if you can tell it or not, but blow it off and you're fine. And then the middle shade is New. So New is the one that I was setting my eyelids with. I was kind of mixing New and the other one, which is Strawberry. I was mixing New and Strawberry to set my lids with. So there is New. And again, I think the colors in this is perfect for fall. Let me know if you feel the same way. I think it's going to be a really great fall palette. So now what I'm going to do is go down a little bit further, and I'm going to do brush swatches. And I'm not going to name them off again. Just going to go through this pretty quickly. We'll probably fast forward through it a little bit. That way we're not here forever trying to just swatch the palette. So I'm going to go in and dip like this a couple times onto the brush, and then swatch it a couple times there. There's what it looks like. And then I'm going to clean it off onto my color swatch, or color switch, not color swatch. Clean it off on that and then go into the next color. So that's how I'm going to proceed through all of these. Okay, so that is everything swatched out. Let me know, what do you think of the color swatches? Because honestly, I feel like this palette is just really good. It reminds me of, like I said, I think I told you guys when I pulled this, it reminds me of like a Kat Von D palette. The colors like that they chose to put in this palette. But I think also, I think it's the pigmentation to it, because Kat Von D, I know she's not like, everybody doesn't love her right now, so, but she does have good makeup, honestly, she really does. So let's go ahead and clean this off. I have a wet wipe here. Oh my gosh, it looks like I have a fake tan there now. Alright, so I'm gonna just wet wipe this off with a Neutrogena wipe. Let's see how much we can get off of here. I don't want to leave that on because I'm pretty sure that I'll have that all over myself. I know for sure I would, honestly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I would definitely make a mess. Alright, so that's good enough. I'm going to take a little dry makeup cloth and just dry my arm off a little bit here to make sure I got most of the makeup off. Alright, so now we are good. We're ready to go and get started into this, get ready with me. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I did was I went ahead and put some lotion on my skin. My skin is pretty dry. I had a pretty bad breakout, so the stuff that I'm using to treat the breakout is causing my skin to dry out just a little bit more. So I went in with the Embryolisse Lot Cream. This stuff, guys, is so good. This is like a 3-in-1 cream, I believe is what they call it. So basically you can use it as a moisturizer, you can use it as a face primer, and you can use it as a makeup remover. It does all three because I've taken it with me on trips before, and it does all three. It can remove your makeup, it can be a primer, and it's a moisturizer. So like, how do you beat that? Like all three products into one, like that's pretty cool. So now I've moisturized my skin and kind of primed it, but I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus Dewy Lumineux. So this, if you put too much, you will end up looking like the Tin Man. So if you don't want to look like the Tin Man, just use a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go in with about that much right there and just go all over my skin just to give myself a little bit of luminosity. So I'm going to rub that on. Oh, I was like, oh no, I thought for sure I had the eyeshadow on my hand still. I'm like, oh great, now I'm going to have like colors all over my face. That's going to be really hard to cover. Alright, so this is going to help, like I said, with some luminosity. My skin, with it being really dry skin can tend to look very dull, and I think anytime you have your skin where it looks luminous is really nice because it just looks dewy and fresh and young. I think young dewy fresh skin looks younger, so who doesn't want that? I know I do. I like to make my skin look younger than it is, so that's nice. Alright, so I've got that on. As you can tell, I only used a little bit and my skin is already pretty glowy, so you can imagine if you go overboard with that, you would have a really Tin Man looking face. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm not gonna use the Essence, the Make Me Glow. I do not like this. I use this and it's just weird. It's like a really weird consistency. I don't love the way it works. For me, I think what it doesn't do for me is that it doesn't blend really well, and then not only that, it's like very like splotchy. Like it has a lot of pigmentation in certain spots, and then other spots I feel like it was like kind of lacking, so it just didn't blend very well. So I'm not going to use that, and I'm not going to be using the LA Girl Glazed Lip Paint. I don't know, I know that I didn't buy this not that long ago because I was planning to do a whole video on like the most affordable makeup you can purchase at Ulta, and then I ended up kind of like getting rid of that idea. But anyway, so I purchased this not that long ago, and it smells really weird. So I don't know if it was just that or if it's that's how it smells, but either way, I don't like it. So I'm not using that. So we are going with my foundation. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. Oh my gosh, guys. I love this foundation. I know it's drying on your skin because I think one of the first ingredients in this, or like one of the first few ingredients, is some sort of alcohol. I haven't really researched enough to know what kind of alcohol, because I know certain types of alcohol aren't terrible for your skin, maybe. I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me. So now I'm going to do 2 pumps of this. This is too light for me. I have the light, not the lightest, but I have a lighter shade. I have the shade, oh wow. It's not written on here somewhere or anywhere. That's awesome. What? 31NN. So I guess that's the shade. So what I did was I went with more of like a fall, like winter shade, because I figured I could wear this more, and then I know by next summer I will be probably getting something different. So I'm using this new Essence sponge. This is the Essence, what is it called? Hang on, I have the package right here. This is called the Essence Makeup and Baking Sponge. So I'm using this sponge. I'm going to test it out to see if it's any good or not, because I think it was only like $3, so pretty good deal for a sponge. It seems pretty soft. It kind of reminds me of my Real Technique sponge, like as in texture and stuff. So we'll see how it does with blending and everything. We'll test it out here. So I'm just going to start dabbing this all over my face. I like to focus mostly where I know I have a lot of hyperpigmentation areas, and then go in and fill it in the rest of the way. So I'm just gonna put this on. So I would love to know how you guys have been doing. I know, like, I haven't done a get ready with me in a couple weeks. I don't want to do them every Saturday just because I know they can kind of get boring. And honestly, I don't like watching a whole lot of get ready with me unless that somebody's talking about like some new products or just something really exciting in their life. And I don't really have anything super exciting going on in my life. I'm just using some new products. So that's basically why we're doing a get ready with me today. The only thing exciting I have happening is I'm planning to do a girls, like a glamping trip, but I've got to get everything gathered up for that and get everybody organized. So I want to do like a glamping weekend. If you guys have ever done a glamping weekend, let me know how you did it and like what were some things that you did together, like some games you played, maybe some treats you made for everybody. I would really think that would be fun for all of my like friends and family that are ladies to go up and do like a glamping weekend. I think it would be just something fun for us to do. So, all right. Got that going on. So there is one coat. So as you can tell, it did a pretty good job. My skin, like I said, I do have some acne issues going on right now, and I think I finally figured out what it was. I was using that Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, I think it was, foundation, and I didn't realize it was expired. It expired in 2018, and I'm like, nice, Tiff. So I think it was breaking me out because the makeup was expired. So there's a big key for you guys to check your liquid makeup to make sure you're not using expired products, because I think it broke me out. So make sure your liquid products are up to date. The powder products, I don't notice much of a difference in those. I mean, I think pigmentation will start to kind of diminish over time, but other than that, I don't really notice a difference, and I take pretty good care of my powder products, so I don't really worry about that. So I did one more squirt of the Urban Decay just so I can go around this area here where I do have a little bit more pigmentation issues. I don't want it perfect, but I would like to at least cover some of them up. So lately on Netflix and Hulu, I have been watching the show called, or actually Hulu it was, it's not Netflix. Is it Hulu? Oh my gosh, I'm losing my marbles. Yes, it's Hulu. It's called Handmaid's Tale. Oh my gosh, guys. So I like started watching it, and I knew I'd heard of it before, but I don't know why, I just never really watched it. The sponge is pretty good, by the way, guys. But I just started watching it, and then I kind of binged like all of the seasons, and now I'm all caught up. And so I really love that show. I love the main actress. I cannot remember her name right now, but she is like really good like at facial expressions. You can almost read her, like what she's thinking through her facial expressions. She could just sit there and honestly just do facial expressions and you would know exactly what she was thinking. So it's such a really good movie though, or show. It's basically like based on like if I think something happened, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but things changed like dramatically to where women pretty much don't have any rights anymore. So, and it takes it back to where the Handmaid's Tale, which is the handmaids are the women who they birth the children for the master and the mistress, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they were called on the show, but it's such a good show. If you guys like the more like it's kind of like if I don't know what it's a genre, and I don't remember what it's called, to be honest with you, so I'm just gonna be quiet about it because you know what, I don't want to ruin it for you. If you've never watched Handmaid's Tale, definitely check it out because it's a really good show. Alright, so for brows, I'm going to go in with the Tonya Crooks. This is the Brow Gal. So I figured I would use this because I haven't used it in a while, and I forgot to pull a brow product when I did my Shop My Stash. So here's what it looks like. The wand is super teeny tiny, so if you like a more smaller wand, you're gonna love this. So basically what this does is give you a lot of color and fill in some sparse areas, and that's all I really need. I mean, I would like some shaping as well, so I'm gonna try to shape with the brow product here. Shape it a little bit, but not too dramatically. I think this is a little dark for me, but I'm gonna use it anyway. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I like a more darker brow than what my hair is anyway, so it works. So I'm gonna dip back in and go into the other brow. Right here, like in the beginning parts of my brows is where I'm really missing a lot of brow hairs, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just thinning there or what happened, but I'm missing quite a bit of hair there. So I like to try to fill in as much as I can, but at the same time, it's not perfect. And they're definitely not twins because my brows look nothing alike. They end up just looking like cousins, I guess you'd say. They're not sisters. They're not, I don't know, they're just cousins, I guess. Alright, so the other show that I have been watching that I think you guys need to watch if you like shows that are more... Alright, so this one here is a little bit more scary. Let me think of what it's called. That's terrible. I'm like, let's watch this show, but I don't remember what it's called. I'm going to look it up so I can tell you what it's called because I'm terrible about names. Hang on. Well, let's pull it up on Hulu because that's where I think it's at. So, oh, and also I've been like watching some old TV shows, which is the Beverly Hills 90210. That old show, I love that. Light as a Feather is the other show. Light as a Feather is a really good show. It's a little bit more scary. So if you like scary things, definitely check out Light as a Feather on Hulu because it's pretty good as well. Alright, so now I'm going to set my lids. And to set my lids, I'm going to use the Bronx. This is called the Bronx. I think it's just called Color Primer or something like that. I don't know what it's called, to be honest with you. Call it the Boosting. Boosting? That sounds interesting. Boosting Hydrating Concealer. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this onto my eyelids because I didn't pull an actual eye primer. Most of the time I end up using like a concealer in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go back in with my sponge and blend that out a little bit. Blend it out. It does a pretty good job. I don't love it under my eyes because you guys know my holy grail for under my eyes is my Urban Decay. That one there just works so well for me and my dry skin. I feel like it doesn't accentuate any more than it should. I don't know, it's just a really good one. It's just my holy grail for sure. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and set my lids. I'm going to go into the Orb of Light by the Black Moon Cosmetics. I'm going to find a big fluffy brush here. So I've got this one right here. This is a Real Techniques, I believe. Nope, it's a Fair Brushes. So I'm going to clean it off in my little color switch. This doesn't actually take the color off your brushes, but when you go to swatch it onto your hand or whatever, there's nothing there. So it is clean. It's just, it's not clean like as in like the colors off of the brush. So I'm going to dip into both of these shades right here. This one, and then is this one. Tap off a little bit. You see all the powder. And then lightly tap that all over to set my lids. And the mixture between the two, I think, does a good job for being a good color combination for my lids to just kind of cancel out any kind of vein discoloration, and as well as just setting everything down. So set that down. Alright, now I'm going to find a less fluffy brush. That one is super fluffy. So now I'm going to go in with my Sigma. This is the tapered blending brush. This is the E35. I thought it was said 53. I'm reading things backwards. Clean that off in the color switch. And I'm going to go into the shade right here, which is, I think that one's gold. No, wait, what? It's cold. Warm. This is warm. Like a worm. W-O-R-M. Warm. So I'm just going to start building a crease color. I'm going to go in a little bit more. I think I might have tapped too heavy. Tapped too hard because I tapped most of the color off. And it definitely has more pigmentation than I had the first time I was trying to put it down. I think I tapped most of it off. So it's more of, like I said, like a more warmer fall palette in my opinion. So as you can tell, even this yellow shade looks pretty warm. It's not like a bright, bold, like summer color. Now I'm going into the other side and do the same thing. I've been trying to declutter my house lately. So I've been working on decluttering my closets, my dressers. Oh my gosh, like I don't know how, if you guys do the same thing, but I keep things all the time that I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll wear that one day. And then I've never worn it. I'll find so many pieces in my closet that with still tags on it. And I'm like, what was I waiting for? So I need to actually figure out a way to put everything that still has tags on it and put it in my closet a certain way and be like, look, you need to wear these first before anything else and try them out. And if you don't like them on you, then you need to donate them or you need to put them on Poshmark or something like that. I do have a ton of clothes that I'm going to be putting on Poshmark soon. So I just need to make the time to sit down and take all the photography because doing the photography for Poshmark takes quite a while. So I might have to get my mom to come help me take all the pictures because I've got quite a bit to put up there. Now I'm going to go into the shade right here, which is Harvest. So I'm going to go into that with more of a tapered blending brush. So this one here is the Ipsy times Tetris. So I'm going to go in with that one and use this orange shade right there on my brush. Tap off a little bit. I'm going to put this more towards the inner portion here. Not inner portion, but closest to the lid. I'll blend this out better too, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to do a better blending job. Right now we're just kind of get the placement done. I just like to get it all placed and then go through and do a good blend. Alright, now I'm going to go in to the deeper shade right here, which is Blood. I'm going to go in and just kind of tap that right there onto the inner corner right here, or outer corner, whatever you call that. The outer V, is that the outer V? Tap that there. Tap it here. Now we're going to get a nice blending brush and we're going to blend all of this out so that way there it starts to meld together a little bit better. So I'm going to use this one right here. This is the Luxie tapered blending brush. So I'm going to use that, clean it off, and I'm going to just keep blending for a little while. So I might fast forward through this part just over there. It's not boring just sitting here watching me blend, or I can talk to you guys. Well, let's see, what would I like to talk about? Oh, anyway, like cleaning my closet out. Like I was saying, I keep finding things in there with tags. I need to wear them or like donate them or something because it's ridiculous how many things I found. I did take a giant bag of things to our local thrift store and donate those because the thrift store that's like near me does a lot of donations. Like they donate towards families in need and things like that. So I like to help places like that out, which is also my favorite thrift store to shop at actually. So I love going there because the lady who works there, she's actually a crafter. So she likes to do crafting. And so I was telling her, I was like, look, you need to take some of these items that you're getting in here and turn them into crafts, like recycle them, upcycle them. So I was telling her some ideas for things she could do. And so I really like going in there because we really just sit there and have a good time just talking about crafting as well as thrifting, because she's of course a big thrifter herself because she owns the thrift shop. So I really like going in there. I need to get into crafting like really soon, so that's my goal, is to go over to my craft room and get a lot of crafts done because I want to start crafting again, like big time. Now I'm going to go in with my finger and I'm going to tap onto this one right here, which was Strawberry. I'm just going to put that in the center portion right here and bring it in a little bit. So this is an all matte eye look. I really like it though, honestly. I think all matte eyes sometimes is really nice instead of having all these shimmers and stuff. All mattes are really nice, but as you can tell, there's like a no fallout under my eyes. Like, so as I was showing you guys the swatches, don't always go by a swatch. You have to actually try the products out sometimes, because the swatches, yes, there was a lot of fallout, but again, it's a finger swatch, so you're gonna have some fallout. So anyway, I need to get back into crafting. Like I was saying, I feel like I'm like all over the place. Am I all over the place like talking? Probably. So anyway, I need to get back into crafting because I have so many ideas for like some fall crafts that I want to do with you guys. So I'm going to make it a goal that I go craft at least twice a week now, so that way there I can create, like what is it called? Churn out some crafts for you guys that I think you guys might enjoy. I don't know, I mean, I like it, so hopefully you guys will enjoy them as well. I know like some people like to start like separate channels for different hobbies and stuff they like to do, but I like to keep it all inclusive. Like honestly, like if you don't like one style of video, that's okay, because there's tons of others on my channel to choose from. So it's not like you're forced to watch anything, so that's why I like to do it that way. All right, now I'm gonna go back into the shade right here, which was New, and I'm going to kind of put that in my brow bone highlight. Not really a highlight, just kind of a blending shade. Blend it out a little bit better up in here. Up in here, up in here. All right, so blend, blend, blend. I cannot believe school is starting soon for my son. My youngest son, it goes back to school on Monday. I'm like, what? Where did summer go? It's gone. It's gone. All right, so now I'm going to use the, oh my gosh, the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. just a liner. Or not, yeah, it's a liner. I don't love this because it's not super creamy, but it does okay. So I'm going to just kind of tap it along my lash line just to give myself a little bit of the appearance of thicker lashes, is what I think it does for me. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong. So it's like catching in every one of my little nooks and crannies though in my eyeball. So you see what I mean? Like it's not creamy, like it's like not smooth going all the way over. So I need to bring my mirror closer. You like my setup? I have my mirror like in my brushes here, because I'm like, I don't have an extra mirror and I need the other mirror to be able to make sure my camera stays on. I need to find a different mirror to use for, look at that. That one's really bad right there. I wonder if I go the other way. I'm gonna mess it all up here in a second. I should have maybe warmed this up. If I'd have warmed it up, it might have made it a little bit more creamier, because right now it definitely is not creamy. All right, so now let's go into the other side to see what we can do here. See what kind of damage we can get done. I definitely would not put this in my waterline because I feel like it's too stiff, and that would be a little bit painful. You guys have to let me know if you have kids. When do your kids go back to school? I feel like our kids go back kind of early. But I mean, they get out like in May, so that does help, but it's like the last week in May. I think they get out like May 25th or something like that. Oh my gosh, I really messed up there. We're gonna have to fix that. So, but typically they used to, the way that our county would work, they would have, they wouldn't get out of school until like June, like the second week in June, but they wouldn't go back to school until Labor Day, like after Labor Day. So it was a little bit longer of a summer vacation, it felt like. Maybe it wasn't technically, but I don't know, it always felt longer. But the good thing that they do here is, because one of the things that's pretty popular in this area is the fair that they do. So they will give them a week off for the fair. So we are going to plan a little small mini family trip for that week, because it'll be technically the last I sound like Elmer Fudd, the last week in summer. So we're gonna try to do something like that with my youngest son. My oldest son will be back at college, because he is going back, even though he graduated in the spring, he's going back to get his master's degree now. So he loves work, so he loves like to study, he loves like to learn, so which is awesome. So now I'm using my Marc Jacobs. This is the Omega bronze, and this is in Tantric. So I'm going to use this to kind of bronze up my skin, because like I told you guys, that foundation is way too light for me. So we'll bronze it up and we'll fake it till we make it, right? So we'll just get it all nice and bronzy. So I'm just going to keep tapping into there and getting some bronziness going on here. I love this bronzer though. This bronzer is really nice. I've gotten quite a few new bronzers lately, so I'm going to have to definitely do a makeup declutter very soon. You guys will have to let me know what kind of makeup you want me to declutter first. Would you like to do blushes, contour, contour bronze, highlighters? I'm going to do palettes, but they'll probably be the last part that I declutter. So you have to let me know, what would you like to see first? Like blushes, bronzers and stuff like that. Foundations, now that I realized I had a foundation in there that had been expired. And I had did a declutter, I think it might have been last year though, was it? I don't remember now. But anyway, I need to do a declutter. So does that look a little bit more, do I look a little bit more bronze now? I hope so. All right, now I'm gonna go into this e.l.f. blush. This is e.l.f. in blushing, so it's nothing real fancy or anything to it. It's a very light shade, so what I'm gonna do is use the same brush I used for my bronzer, so that way there I can kind of add a little bit of that bronziness to it. And then also just, I probably should have done my concealer first, but I didn't, so that's okay. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it this way. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was ringing. My husband was wanting to know about some things that we were going to pick up at the grocery store, so he is going to go do that, which is awesome. I always love when he's like, hey, you want me to pick up something? I'm like, sure, go for it. I hate going to the grocery store. I don't know about you guys, but it's like every time I go in there, I'm like, I feel like I need everything, and then when I get home, I got to put it all away, and then you got to cook the food, then you got to do the dishes, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is too much. Oh no, I just used the Bronx one. So we're using Bronx concealer today, guys, under my eyes. I didn't mean to use that. I was so busy just thinking about what I needed at the grocery store, telling my husband the list of stuff that we needed, that I used the wrong concealer. It's not terrible because it is more of a hydrating concealer. I just don't think it's as good as my Urban Decay, but for the price, I mean, the Bronx one is much more affordable, so it definitely isn't terrible. And it does pretty much like the same coverage, because the Urban Decay is not full coverage. It's more of like just a light coverage. So it does about the same coverage in my opinion. So now I'm going to go in with my Becca. This is the Undereye Brightening powder. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to tap my finger into it and tap off and just start patting that on. This is how I like to do it. I'm going to have to go back in with some more blush and stuff like to get it to blend better, because right now I feel like my blush and my concealer is like got a big cutoff area, so it looks a little strange. There we go. That's looking better. I like to do it with my finger just because I feel like that the warmth of my finger helps to make it go in better into my skin, in my opinion. even though you could do it with a sponge as well and then just kind of set it better, I guess, with your sponge. But for some reason, I think the warmth of your finger really does help. It could be just me. I don't know, probably. All right, now I'm going to go back into the Orb of Light palette, and I'm going to use a smaller brush. We're going to use this one right here, which is called the Sigma Short Shader brush. This is the E20. And I'm going to go into the yellow shade first. And I'm just going to start right here. And then I'm going to bring it back a little bit. I usually start in the outer corner, but lately I've been trying to start in like the middle part of my eye, I guess you could say, and it works good. So I'm going to go into this brown shade right here, which is Wolf. Tap off. And just go into the outer portion here. Oh my gosh, I just blinked and I think I put my brush into my eyeball. That was not smart. All right, so you know what else I didn't really have in this week's Shop My Stash was a highlighter. So what I've been doing is the palette that I pulled from the one that my friend Lashes Tony sent me, which is more of like a blush palette. I've been using this pinky shade right here as my inner corner highlight, and it works pretty good. It's not super, oh gosh, I just really messed up there. Look at that. That looks horrendous. I'll have to fix that. All right, so it's not super bold or anything, but it definitely does the job. So, and that's what I've been using for highlight on my cheeks as well. That's what I use. It looks pretty good. It's not perfect with this orange eyeshadow look, but that's okay. I don't mind. All right, let me find that brush again. So here's the shader brush again, the short shader. Fix this little goof I did here. I don't know what in the world I did there. I'm gonna have to do some blending. Do some blend work up at the top. All right, I'm gonna go back in with the blending brush and just try to blend that out a little bit better because I made a goof. I made it, oops. I'm just gonna keep on blending. Hopefully that looks better. I don't know what's going on here. I think there's like a mole or something right there, and that's like kind of catching the shadow. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. All right, now I'm going to curl my lashes with my lash curler, which is, where is my lash curler? Oh my goodness, I lost it. I lost my lash, there it is. Oh my goodness. Here it is. I have the Shiseido one, but I don't really like it, to be honest with you. I like this Tarte one. It works pretty well for me. So I'm just going to curl my lashes quick. And we're going to use that e.l.f. mascara. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not my favorite. So it's one that it's like usable because the wand isn't too big and the formula is not terrible. It just doesn't give me a whole lot of length or volume. It basically just gives it just a little bit of oomph. So as you can see, it doesn't do much. It doesn't do much at all for my lashes. I'll go in with a second coat just to see if I can make it look a little bit better, but it doesn't do a whole lot. You guys will have to let me know also, since I've been talking about Poshmark a couple times in this video, if you'd like for me to do like a behind the scenes of how I do Poshmark, like how I set everything up to do photography for it, and then also how like I post everything. Let me know if you want a behind the scenes look at it. I know a lot of people have done that already, but I mean, just in case you're curious on how I do it, it might be a little bit different than other people. I don't know. But we can definitely do a behind the scenes. See, like this is nothing. This is like not that good. All right, now I lost my other brush that I was using for my blush. So I'm going to go in with this one right here. And we're just going to go in with this one that Lashes Tony sent me. I'm going to go in and mix this shade right here with this. Whoops, no, not that shade. That's more of a highlighty shade. This shade with this shade. Mix those two and try to create the same kind of look right there going on. So I don't want it like super bold and like clown-like, but I definitely want to have some color on my cheeks. So there's what it looks like. I always put a little on my nose too. Some people do, some people don't. I just think it makes it look more like you have like a sun-kissed glow into your skin. So now I'm going to highlight, and to highlight I'm going to use the same palette. I'm going to go in with this brush right here. This is the Sigma tapered highlighting brush, the F35. I'm going to use this right here. See, it's got a nice glow to it. It doesn't look super pink, but you can definitely tell it has a pink like shift to it a little bit. So there it is on this side. And then down the center of my nose a little bit, and then up here a little bit. I don't do like the, like right on the tip of your nose. I just do right down the center. That's good enough for me. Okay, and then the only other lip product I had pulled for the week was this one right here. So it's just a gloss. So this is by Winky Luxe. This is called the Glazed Lip. So this is really nice because the other girl one was stinky. So I was not using that one. So we'll use this. This just gives a little bit of glow because it almost looks like iridescent. It's not going to be perfect with this eye look though. I mean, honestly, this should have had more of like a brownie nude. It would have looked better. But that's all right. That's what we have. Oops, I just tried to put it back in and I'm like, what in the world? It won't go in. Well, it helps if you actually put it in the bottle. Anyway, that is today's Get Ready With Me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know I didn't talk about anything super like interesting or anything, but you guys will have to let me know how you prefer these. If you want me to do like the talk throughs, or if you prefer for me to do like the voiceover, where not really a voiceover, where I'm just inserting like footage of me doing the makeup and then maybe talking to you guys about the products. You have to let me know how you prefer them. It's up to you guys. Honestly, for me, I just sometimes kind of like lose ideas on what to talk to you guys about. If you have some ideas on what you want me to talk to you about, or if you have some questions you want to ask me, let me know those questions in the comment section down below, because I can definitely do like a Q&A for our next Get Ready With Me. That's a great idea. Let's do a Q&A Get Ready With Me for next week, or for the next time. Might not be next week because I don't like to do them back to back. I don't like to have them every Saturday. So let me know if you want a Q&A and what are some questions that you would like to ask me. It could be anything you want. There's no holds barred, so just ask me anything you want. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.